Good morning and welcome back to Manga Mondays or Anime Mondays. If you're into anime, whatever, this is Questbound Reader, guys. I'm happy to have you here again. Today, we're going to talk about one of my all time favorite manga slash animes, which I actually haven't read the manga for because I love the anime so much. And that is My Hero Academia. Guys, you need to watch it. Again, it's up on all the websites. Like just Google it. You'll love it. You'll live it. It'll become a part of your lifestyle. This is one of the only anime slash manga that have really put me into the feels. I can really identify with Midoriya. Um, this, it's just, let's get into what it's about, and then you'll understand. So, imagine a world where powers exist. Right, this is your superhero world that you always dreamed of being a part of, and the overwhelming majority of people are born with powers, better known as quirks. So these quirks can range from anything to being like a frog and throwing out your tongue and being sticky, to having super strength and being near indestructible. Now, as I said, the vast majority of people have powers or quirks, but there's a very small percentage of people that don't have quirks, and they are discriminated against. They are talked to as if they're just beneath everybody else, and they're just pretty much unimportant. Here comes Midoriya, who is our main character, and he is a young boy who has always looked up to All Might, who is the number one hero in the world. Right? He is a symbol of peace, the symbol of justice, and frankly, just the strongest when it comes to raw power. Now, this is All Might, I guess, could be your Superman esque hero without the flying. And that's who he is. He's incredibly strong, almost indestructible, and he stands as a symbol to the rest of the heroes, someone that everybody else looks up to. Midoriya has his whole, he's a fanboy. He has his whole room decked out with like All Might things everywhere. And then it's time for Midoriya, because once they reach a certain age, they go get tested to see what kind of quirks they're going to develop. So Midoriya goes and gets quirk tested, and he appears to be quirkless, right? Which is a shock to him and his mom. His mom has a quirk, and usually when parents have quirks, they pass them down to their kids. So he is destroyed, absolutely. He's just this little kid, and you see the images of him just crying while smiling. Um, because he knows that his dreams of being a hero are gone. They're over. He can't be a hero without a quirk. So then he travels through life, always being made fun of by his friends and bullied and picked on, until he meets up with All Might one day at a random luck, and All Might decides to pass on his quirk to Midoriya. Now, um, I'm gonna make a parenthesis here and talk a little bit about what goes on in this anime slash manga. So the premise of this is they're gonna go, as the name says, My Hero Academia. They go to a school that's all about heroes, and in this school, it's called UA Academy. It's the most prestigious school in all of the in all of the state, or the not the state, because this is in Japan, in all of Japan. And in this school, they're gonna teach you to be the top notch heroes. Midoriya has always dreamed of going there, but since he's quirkless, he can't. Now, All Might has his quirk, and his quirk is it is probably the only quirk, or one of the only quirks in the world, that you can choose who you pass it on to. You can choose your successor, and this is what All Might does. Now, as he gives his quirk to Midoriya, who then nicknames himself Deku, that's his hero name. Um, he gives him a warning. He's like, "Look, if I give you this, I'm gonna lose these powers little by little, and you're gonna gain them. But there's no way that you're going to be as strong as I am right now, because your body is not built for this, right? Mine is." And you see, All Might is this overwhelmingly big, like tower of a man that's packed with muscle and strong and all that. And Deku's is like skinny little boy. So then he makes Deku train. Now, during this training, it's rigorous, it's extensive, and it's all to see if he is capable of wielding All Might's power. And, well, he does, right? And now we move past the entrance to the UA Academy. I want you to know Midoriya, it really messes up his body with All Might's power. Like he is not strong enough to use even like 10% of his power. Every time he uses it, he'll break like a finger or break a bone. And they heal him. That they tell him that he's not supposed to keep doing this because it can cause permanent damage. So he doesn't care. He's set out to be the ultimate hero, the number one hero in the world, and this is his story. This entire show is Midoriya's retelling of how he became the number one hero. Now we haven't gotten to that part yet. Even the anime or manga, I don't think have caught up to that yet. But it is such an exciting premise because you see every single struggle that this kid has or this kid goes through in order to become who he is now. And the show goes into some really dark places in his mind. Um, but the majority of the show and what I love, and I get chills just thinking about it, it's he's faced with these villains, and the only way he's gonna overcome the villains or the League of Villains or the League of whatever, right, is by being stronger and surpassing his current self, going plus ultra is something you'll hear a lot in the manga or in the anime. And he does, and you really get into this, man. You're like, wow, this guy's gonna get his butt beat, and then he somehow he's the underdog, and he pushes and he pushes and he pushes and he gets victory, and you're like, yes, he did it, he did it, he's gonna get through, everything is okay, and then it's great because it's a very well earned victory. This is not the anime where the main character is overpowered. This is a progression fantasy in an anime manga form. This kid is the weakest of the weak, and he slowly becomes the strongest. Um, at least he's on his way there, and he encounters many difficult, not only physically demanding villains, but many like mentally exhausting scenarios that he has to figure out, and emotionally exhausting too. And through it all, you really do get an essence of who Midoriya is as a person. And he's a good guy. He really is a good guy. He does his best. But the show also shows you that, even being great, even being the best of the best can wear you down and can overwhelm you. And you have a breaking point. And we do see his breaking point sometimes. I highly encourage you to watch this. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. It's top on my top 5 favorite anime slash mangas of all time, and I love it. It's kind of it's a silly show, and it presents some interesting and some very adult like, um, I want to say pros, but it's not pros, but scenarios. So this is a show anybody can watch. It doesn't matter their age. If you're really young and you enjoy watching these kind of animes, and you'll look up to the superheroes, and maybe you'll identify yourself as someone who always wanted to be more than they are, and then you'll identify yourself through Midoriya and live vicariously through him, right? This is to me the equivalent of, I remember when I was young, I wanted to be Superman and I wanted to fly everywhere and be super strong and save everyone. This is Midoriya. This is who he is. This is what he wants, and this is his life, and you get to see how he lives through that and to that extreme that he wants. So, like I said, this is a 5 out of 5 for me. I encourage you to watch this show. If you like progression fantasy, you're gonna like this. If you like an underdog, you're gonna love this story. If you like the cool powers and quirks and that kind of thing, you're gonna like that. If you like morally gray characters, you're gonna find a few in here too. It's not all just black and white. So I encourage you to read this. I think you guys will love it. I look forward to talking to you guys on the next one. Take care. See you soon.